Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking The Comeback, Season 1, Episode 2, Valerie Triumphs at the Upfronts. You guys, I had only planned to do the one episode that I put up just as a comparison to some other Michael Patrick King work. But you had such an amazing response to it. I had so many views and comments and thumbs up, and it just made me want to keep going. So here we are. We're going to do episode 2. I don't know how many I'll do, but I'll keep going as long as you guys want. Just leave me comments below and let me know if this is something you want to keep going with. This is one of my favorite episodes. I'm so excited to talk about it, and I can't wait to get into it. So if you're here, I'm sure you're familiar with the show, but just in case you're not and you just wanted to watch the recap, let me go ahead and forewarn you. All the pictures kind of look like this. That's how this is filmed. It's a pretend reality show, of course, with Valerie Cherish. We love her. And it's from 2005, but it looks much older than that. I don't know when it was actually set, but it definitely looks older. But it's meant to look like this, so it's not my pictures. It's not your TV. This is just how the show is shot. We're going to get into it, but first, check out my merch, link below. I got Midnight Toast, Justice for Steve. It's a load of pants. Or find me on Patreon. It's patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. You guys, I love this show. I haven't seen it in a long time, and it's so wonderfully awkward. Sometimes it's hard to recap how awkward it is, but you just have to watch it and see it. If you're familiar, you know what I'm talking about. But otherwise, it's fantastic. This episode especially, I just remembered loving, and rewatching it brought back all the feelings. So we start off, of course, with Juna, the most beautiful girl in the whole world. You know, it's Malin Ackerman. She's fantastic. But they just keep doing this to Valerie. They show Juna with this sexy haircut and talking about how beautiful she looks. And, you know, she's like 20 years old. She's teeny. She's gorgeous. She's perfect. And they like to show Valerie, who they've stuck in these giant Velcro rollers. And it's just... just so fun to watch. They just love doing this to Valerie. They'll show Juna in her beautiful wardrobe, and then with Valerie, they'll just give her a tracksuit. You know, it's part of the awkwardness. Of course, she's with Mickey, her hairstylist. He goes everywhere with her. I love Mickey. I think he's such a fun part of the show. So for the reality show she's filming, she decides to bring out cast photos of the first 4 years of her show, I'm It. So during this, we have Kellen Lutz, which it's so funny to see him, you know, back all the way back here. But Kellen Lutz, he bursts in, he starts talking to the camera, and Valerie has this thing that I love where she always gives a timeout symbol to the camera and says, Jane, cut. And Jane always tells her, no, Valerie, just keep going. We'll edit it out. It's okay. So the wardrobe guy comes in with these tracksuits. Basically, she has two choices, and they're awful. Everybody else gets this huge rack of clothes, you know, gorgeous, fun, sexy things, and she's got this look right here. So she's at this photo shoot, and they're all having these sexy poses and taking pictures, and poor Valerie's stuck way back in the back. She plays Aunt Sassy. She's supposed to be giving, like, disapproving looks while the cast is doing these sexy, smoldering looks, but we keep catching Valerie doing it. She comes up off her mark, tries to get in the photos. They're not happy. They're like, no, Val, go back to your spot. So the guy to the left, the further one back, he is Pauly G. He's, to me, the funniest one because he really does not care for Val. But if he looks familiar, he is played by Lance Barber, he plays Bill Ponderosa on Always Sunny. I find that so funny. I forgot the first time I watched this. I was like, no way, that's the same guy. So Sassy is like posing and trying to be part of this. They just do everything to make it awkward for her, not be part of the group. They keep sending her back to the back. She's telling them, hey, listen, we got upfronts coming up. Can we just talk about this? Maybe you guys should write something, like a bit for me to do. And they just have no time for her at all. They don't even hide their disdain. They're like, you know, Valerie, this could be cheesy. This isn't a good idea. So she has to go back to her spot. She's done this before, but they point out later, it's been 13 years. So it's all changed. And they like to show her how different things are and how, you know, it's tough. It's tough for her. And that's the fun of the show, right? All the awkward moments. So then we see her with her husband, Mark. She calls him Marky Mark. So she's reminding him that they're going tomorrow to the upfronts. He's nice to her, but he just doesn't seem to care too much. Adds to the awkwardness as well. She's trying to get him to pick out a wall color. They're literally watching paint dry. His daughter, who is 12 years old, shows up dressed like this, posing for the camera. It's Francesca. Valerie's eyes are like bugging out of her head. Like, can everybody just be cool for the camera? Come on, don't embarrass me right now. That's the part of the show that I love so much, is all the awkward, like, come on. I believe I'd read that she based it on Amazing Race, some of those interviews that they give. And I just love that so much. I love the backstory. It was one of you guys that let me know. Thank you for that. Because she even talks about the Amazing Race later in the episode. So she's telling her husband, wish me luck, and he just kind of yells luck as he walks out the door. She's at the airport. She's trying to figure out what's going on with her. She's about to leave for the upfronts. They don't have a seat for Mickey. It's awkward. So she has to figure out, does she want to send him back to coach? She has to pay for it herself. Or she can fly in first class with her. $4,500 a ticket. She's looking around for Jane's help. Jane's like, I can't take care of this. So she's like, oh, okay, well, it'll be a treat. And she pays for his first class ticket. It's so awkward. I gotta look up a new word for awkward, because that's all I can say. It's so awkward. Flight attendant is there. He says they can't be here, talking about the film crew. She's freaking out because obviously she's paid for first class for Mickey. She wants all this on camera. They're not going to be there. She's hoping for the time with them. They get sent back to coach. They sit down. Well, they want to start filming Juna. So you can imagine what happens here. Valerie comes up. She's like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? We talking? She ends up giving up her glass of Cristal so she can have a conversation with the camera and not be left out, because she's left out of everything. The flight attendant has warned her that there's turbulence. She's like, no, it's fine. I'm in first class. I do whatever I want. Well, then we see the plane violently shake. And you guys, I was laughing so hard at this. She had to crawl from the coach area up to first class. They're filming her rear end all the way up. It's so embarrassing. At the hotel, she's trying to shoot these interviews. Juna comes in. Juna is wearing a completely see-through shirt. So I can't even show you pictures of Juna because, rules. But, boobs out, everything. So Valerie's trying to concentrate. She's trying to get the camera to focus on her. Juna invites her to dinner and leaves. Valerie ends up getting on the phone back with Mark, just talking about the plans for the evening. She's trying to figure out his situation with his daughter and trying to make plans for herself. The group ends up leaving her, and I hate this part so much. You could feel the uncomfortableness coming off of Valerie. She's trying to figure out where they all went. She's asking Jane. She asked to roll the tape back, and Jane's like, we can't do that. She's just trying to hear where the group said they were going. She doesn't have anybody's number. I hate this so much. It's like they do a great job of making it uncomfortable, and then they do stuff like this, and it kills me for Valerie. But she takes it like a champ. She's smiling all the way through. She ends up going to her room and filming and saying, well, I get to have a night in. I'm lucky. Well, then Polly shows up at her door, and he's such a jerk. She's trying to talk to him more about, hey, I don't have anything to say at the upfronts. Can you help me? He doesn't say a word. He makes a weird gesture and just walks out of her room. So it's just one scene of uncomfortable after another. The next day, Valerie's getting ready for the upfronts. Mickey's trying to do her hair. They gave him a basket full of these products to try to use because they're sponsors of the reality show. And Valerie's like, no, I can't do this today. I need my, my products. I can't do this. And I thought for sure they were going to use this and something was going to go crazy with her hair or it was going to turn a different color. But no, she apologizes to Jane. It's like, I can't use these products. Jane understands. And then we see her at the upfronts here. So at the upfronts, pretty funny scenes going on. They're behind the stage waiting to be introduced. This producer here has a huge chip on his shoulder. He hates that Valerie's there with her whole film crew. There's just not enough room. It's a tight space. We get to see all these insane reality shows coming out. There's one where they're hitting each other on the head with boards. And they make more money depending on what they hit each other on the head with, which was really funny. There's one for America's Next Top Porn Star. I mean, just a lot of silly stuff going on. So the group is getting ready to go. Oh, here's America's Next Top Porn Star. That's what it's called. The group's about to go out on stage. We see Juno looking so good, and Valerie feels just overdressed in her jacket. She takes it off so she can be boobs out. I think Valerie looks fantastic here. I really like this look on her. It's nice to see her in something besides a tracksuit. I think it was really well done. So the whole cast gets brought on stage. They're all called out. They're so excited to be there, waving to the crowd, excited to promote the show. Well, Valerie doesn't get called. It's the most heartbreaking thing, and I could not remember what happened. So I was like, oh, poor Valerie, that's awful. I thought, oh my gosh, she's going to have to go back home. It's terrible. But you guys, it was the greatest moment of the show. They actually introduced her completely separate. They acknowledged that she's done another show with the network, I'm It, and that she was the star of that, and now she's in this. So it was so nice to actually see her have a win. So we see her on stage beaming. She thinks she's going to make a speech or tries, but they cut her off and send her back off stage. So it's like they have to keep her in her humble place, but it's great to see her have a win. You know, I find myself rooting for her so much, so it's fantastic that this is how the episode ends. It actually made me so happy to see her up on stage and just so happy about it. But again, when Valerie gets a win, they have to knock her back down a little bit. So she's on the phone with Mark trying to tell him about how great her evening was. And then they start talking about, you know, real stuff you talk about with your partner, like what color did the wall get painted? Oh, you went with the sage green? Okay, you know. But she has to get off the phone so she can take cast photos, and it's just so cute. It's cute because it goes out on a high note. She's obviously thrilled and excited, so I'm sure she'll get slapped back down next episode, but I thought it was fantastic. I love this episode. Good for Valerie Cherish. I'm rooting for you, girl. It's so much fun to talk about this show. You just got to let me know in the comments. Do you guys want to keep going with it? Do we want to move on to something else? I'm open for anything. Just let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. I really do read all the comments, and I appreciate all the thumbs up and everybody that's joined Patreon. We've had so many people join lately. Thank you for that. Everybody that's bought merch, I can't believe it. It's so kind and so overwhelming. Thank you so much for that. Do send me a message if you buy merch, because I want to know who you are and personally thank you. That's so sweet. You are supporting the show. Thank you guys for everything. Check back. I got lots of videos coming out, and I will talk to you again soon. Stay healthy and safe. Take care. Bye-bye.